What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Thursday to you. Hopefully you can hear me this time around. So I'm going to reiterate my talk. I'm going to try to bring up some of the same topics I gave. I have a networking group that, for those of you not familiar, called BNI Synergy. It's part of a larger organization called BNI International. We meet every Thursday morning from 6:45 till 8:30, and we exchange between $1.4 and $1.5 million a year in closed business between all of us. So very powerful place to be on a Thursday morning. Every week we have a featured speaker, a featured person two people actually, that stand up and share their content, their message, what they do to better understand them for 10 minutes. This week I had the opportunity of being able to do that. So I woke up early. I was up at 4:30. For those of you that follow along, you know that's not much of a shocker. I got my iPad out. I got my mics out. I got everything I wanted to do to set everything up because I wanted to go live on Facebook, and then I wanted to have my iPad set up in the back of the room for backup, just in case something went wrong with Facebook Live, as it often does. So I set up Facebook Live, hook up my lav mic so I've got good audio. The goal was for me to not only go live on Facebook, but to be able to turn this into a podcast episode. I'm here to tell you right now, all my plans just went completely down the drain, and that's far from what happened. I actually plugged my mic in, and that cut off the audio for my Facebook Live, so people were watching the live just like they are right now going, I can't hear anything. And then I'm like, I'm all good because I've got my iPad in the back. I've got a mic on that. And I just hit record and let that go. Well, I'm here to tell you that was far from the truth as well, because I quickly realized that I did not choose the video button on my iPad. No, I chose the slow motion. So the 10-minute talk that I gave is an hour and 15 minutes slow motion of me just doing like slow-mo, no sound. Now, as my BNI colleague said, Sebastian, that's one of the greatest talks you've ever given. I'm so excited because I thought, oh my goodness, maybe Facebook Live didn't work. But my iPad did, and I quickly realized that it didn't. So I could do a couple of things. I just walked out of BNI, met with one of our newest members who's a property adjuster. And we had a meeting scheduled to better understand, get to know each other. We call those one-to-ones after the meeting. And he just had such incredible feedback on my talk and said, listen, I've been doing this property adjusting thing for about 3 years, but I'm finally aligned with a team and with people that really believe in what I'm doing, and we really help each other grow, and we're going all in with this whole social media thing. So our timing is perfect because we want to start figuring this social media game out. Your talk convinced me even more that this is where we're at. Now, my talks are not designed to get people to be sold on something. I'm not there to change your mind, but I am there to shift your mindset. I believe there's a huge difference between the two. Now, as I'm absorbing his feedback, and I'm extremely grateful for all the positive and wonderful things that he had to say. His business partners are actually on their way on vacation for spring break with their kids, but he stopped. He was so excited. He stopped. He got his partner's wife on the phone, who's a partner in the business too. He said, she's all in. And I said, perfect, because she calls the shots. We all know that, and I don't even know her. She was at the hair salon getting her hair done. He said, I know you're getting your hair done. You're busy leaving on vacation, but real quick, I wanted to introduce you virtually to a colleague of mine, Sebastian Rusk, who owns Social Buzz TV. He just gave a great talk on where we're at with this whole social media thing, and it's so in line with exactly where we're at. I just wanted to stop, have him say hello before you go on vacation, and then we're going to schedule a time for you guys to meet. So as I'm trying to upload a video that has absolutely no sound whatsoever, I'm absorbing positive feedback about my talk. To say that I was kind of perplexed when I got to my car, because I'm on this high from giving a talk. I get off stage, people are receptive to it, they learn from it, they start to think differently. I get excited about these things, right? So I've got this high of getting done with the talk, getting a new client that's going to be on board very soon, and then quickly realizing, womp, 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 there's no audio. Not only on your Facebook Live, where there was 175 people that have tuned in for whatever long that was to realize that they couldn't hear me. Thank you if you did that. And then I realized my backup of my iPad, no video at all. The mic was plugged in. Be very careful when you choose your options on your iPad, because slow-mo is right above video. And, it's a very short amount of time for us to be able to give our presentation. So I had to kind of expedite the process, and there's not a lot of testing that you can do with social media stuff. Like I couldn't test going live. I mean, I guess I could regarding the mic, but I didn't think it was going to be that complicated. I mean, I do this for a living, for crying out loud, but we're not shooting live videos for clients. We're shooting videos that'll be posted on a weekly basis. So it's a little bit different here, but the lesson, before I start to talk about what I was talking about here, the lesson is, if you've been apprehensive about creating social media content for your brand and telling the story for your brand, just because you're fearful of it, well, I'm gonna go into that in a couple of seconds here. But I want to let you know that once you start creating content, there's gonna be error, and it's never gonna be perfect. And there's one thing I really wanna encourage you to embrace, and that is, done is better than perfect. And I'm a firm believer, and I know that's difficult for you perfectionists out there to be able to digest and go, whoa, 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 whoa. It has to be perfect or it's not going out. That's just not realistic. So this morning I talked about the fact that I have been a disruptor since I can remember. I used to disrupt my kindergarten class. I used to disrupt high school classes. I used to disrupt my sales meeting. And now I get paid to do what I love, to disrupt other people's thought process on where we're at with this entire digital landscape thing we like to call social media. This stuff is 16 years old, and we're still in the infancy of this just getting started, getting brands just getting on board with what we're doing here, with creating content and storytelling and being able to sell your products and services and be able to offer them online. 16 years ago, this all started. It's just now becoming relevant and popular. Now, the thing about it is that you can run Facebook ads on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn right now, and they are grossly underpriced on where they should be. I think people are not taking advantage of the opportunity at hand, and the opportunity at hand is affordable right now. It's like 2002 when Google AdWords started to gain some steam and some popularity. If you were doing Google AdWords back in 2001, 2002, you were crushing the game. That means someone searching for something on Google pertaining to your keyword about your business. When they type that in, they go to your website. That was happening back in 2002. The same thing is happening today, but it's happening in the social media landscape. It's happening on Facebook. It's happening on Instagram. It's happening on LinkedIn. It's happening on Twitter. It's happening on YouTube. I'm in the process of launching my YouTube channel right now, and let me tell you, it's not about setting up an account and uploading videos. It is actually a science. My brain hurts with absorbing all of the content and information that it takes to launch a YouTube channel, but I've been in this space since the beginning, 2004. From the get. I discovered 5 years later how to monetize it and actually build a business when I launched Social Buzz TV. So I firmly believe that you must be a product of the product in order to sell the product. That's why I've been a content creator from the get. I said I'm going to launch a brand called Social Buzz TV, and I'm also going to launch my personal brand simultaneously by creating content, because I can't shift your mindset and help you better understand what you need to be doing with your business and social media if I'm not actively doing it. There's a lot of jokers running around town claiming to be experts, and I just believe that this whole social media thing is far too young for anybody to be an expert. Now, I also believe, and I really drove this point home this morning in my talk with my BNI chapter, I firmly believe that there are two sides of the room. There's the far right side of the room, and I'm not talking about right and left of politics. I'm talking about literally the right side of the room, my right. Okay, maybe it's your left on your watching. Let's just call it this side of the room is in a category that we like to call delusional. They're in denial that social media exists, that they need it. They've been in business for 3,000 years. Why would they need it now? They're concerned, insecure, fearful, and just delusional about the reality of where we're at. I'm recording this on the single most important device and piece of equipment any of us own, and that's a smartphone. Because that's where all the eyeballs are at, that's where all the attention's at. So we got one side of the room, completely delusional and in denial. And then we've got the other side of the room, the side of the room that I like to hang out a little bit in, a lot of it. And that's what we call the practical side. These are the individuals that say, hey, listen, I don't see the whole staircase, but I'm taking the first step anyway. Practical. We got delusional, practical. And if you find yourself somewhere in the middle of those two, well, then that's called vulnerable. Now, there's a lot of growth in vulnerability, but I think only vulnerability matched with practicality is going to give you that growth. You stay there just vulnerable, not understanding, vulnerable to not getting involved in this digital landscape we like to call social media. You're vulnerable to your competition coming in and doing what you should be doing, which is telling your story, sharing your truth, creating your content. There's never been a more exciting time to be alive. I thought of a million things that I could talk about this morning with my BNI chapter pertaining to storytelling and social media, and I woke up with this overwhelming feeling and thought of I just think people are insecure and extremely fearful. There's a huge underlying fear of the unknown with social media. What's going to happen? What's so-and-so going to say about me? That has a lot to do with it too. Being concerned about what others think and say about you, well, that's a whole nother episode in and of itself. But to neglect creating content because you're concerned that fattypants22 at AOL.com is insulting your content, well, then you need to look a little deeper in who you're tuning in and who you're tuning out, right? Because there's a lot of noise pertaining to social media. It's never going to be a perfect world where everyone just says amazing things about your content, what you do, and about your business. There's always these things we like to refer to as internet trolls. They've got nothing else better to do but to bring other people down and talk negatively about content, etc. These are called trolls, and they're there for a reason: to tune out, to unfollow. Listen, as quick as we connect with people, we can disconnect with people. That's the best part about it. And listen, haters gonna hate, right? Those were haters. Trolls fall into the category of haters. But with this stuff being around for the past 16 years, and it's not going anywhere, it's where our attention's at. Do you understand that we are digitally addicted? Let me walk you through it real quick. Statistics will tell us the average person is no more than 3.5 feet from their phone at any given time. You know what that means? That means we are digitally addicted. And it goes a little something like this. I'm going to stop. I'm going to post something on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm going to wait for that first like that gives me that shot of dopamine, boom, right to my brain that says, I am awesome. We all do it. We don't go anywhere without our phones. We are digitally addicted. Why am I talking about this and why am I driving this point home? It's very simple. If we are digitally addicted to our phones and the content and the joy and the noise that it brings to us, are you as a brand part of that experience? You know that friend you can call for anything? That go-to friend, 3 o'clock in the morning, come pick you up at the side of the road. What about being that as a brand? That go-to source for what you do. Your content is so awesome that the people that consume it, they may not do business with you, but they refer you business for a reason. There's one reason they do that. Because you have made an emotional connection with them. Your content has resonated with them and given them a reason to say, you know what, I want to follow this individual and I want to consume their content. I want to share it with other people. Because of your videos and because of your content, I refer you business. You entertain me. You provide value into my life. When I see the value you provide into my life, well, then I think this is an absolute no-brainer. But you got to decide which side of the room you're going to be on. This side, delusional. Social media doesn't exist and it'll eventually go away. This side of the room, practical. You know what? I better give this YouTube thingy a shot. It's the old school coming into the new school. You know how many skeptics I've seen change their mindset like that? It just takes one thing. It takes one person asking about what you do or how you do it and someone recommending you on Facebook. It takes one video that you shoot that someone says, I saw the video and it solved my problem. I liked the video, you're funny, you were entertaining, it was value added. I want to do business with you. One opportunity to shift your mindset. But if you're just kind of in limbo there in the middle, that vulnerable space, you're not delusional, you're not practical, you're not really sure what the hell's going on. You're vulnerable to your competition coming in and saying, I'm just going to scoop all of this attention up because it's sitting there. And for $10, I can boost a post, $10 I can boost a post, and I can reach 900 people. You tell me in the history of any type of advertising that you could spend $10 and reach close to 1,000 people like that. And you control it. You turn it on. You turn it off. You decide how much you're going to spend and how much you're not going to spend. You target your audience, your demographics. Friends, do you understand that Facebook knows more about you than you know about yourself? I think that's a good thing. They're going to cater what our interests and needs are. I don't want to see content that doesn't pertain to what I'm interested in. I want to see stuff that resonates with me, that makes sense with me. If you're advertising a local business in Kentucky and I'm here in Miami, that's not really of interest to me because I don't live in Kentucky. I live in Miami, but I can target people within a 5-mile radius of the Hyatt Regency Coral Gables right here. If I have a local business right around the corner on Ponce de Leon here in Coral Gables, I can target those people, getting right in front of them. $10, 800 people, $20, wow, I don't know. $100, who knows? But it takes one opportunity within this digital landscape of your brand being exposed, of somebody saying, I saw your video on YouTube or Facebook, I read your blog post, you solved my problem. I have a friend of mine that's in your BNI chapter. He heard you give a talk. I want to hire you. Do you know how many people hire me just based on the association and relationships that I have? It's ridiculous. It really, really is. And I've designed it that way. I told myself I'm going to build a long-term sustainable brand that people believe in, that people trust, that's long-term and sustainable, that's both going to be a brand and also a personal brand at the same time. Authenticity trumps likability. So if you're hiding behind the whole social curtain of I don't need to do that, you will. You will. And I'm not here to convince you otherwise. If I walk into a meeting and someone says, they got their arms folded, convince me on why I need social media, I'll get up and walk out of the meeting. That's not my job. My job is not to convince you of the reality of where we're at. Just like my boy Gary Vee says, social media is overthrowing governments in the Middle East. Do you really have the audacity to think it's not affecting your business? You are completely out of your tree if you think that. Or maybe you just don't care. If you're in the category of just don't care, then still, that side of the room, completely delusional, because you will. There was a point in time that you dug your heels in and said, I will never get a cell phone, ever. Now look at you. Technology doesn't give a shit about your feelings. You understand that? Technology's never going backwards. It's not slowing down. It's not going at your pace. It's not going at your brand's pace. It's not going about what you think it should be doing. You got a story in there. Do you understand that? You got some truth in there. I don't know what that is or what that story is, but for you to not create content around what your story is about your brand, what your truth is about your brand, you are being grossly negligent to those people that want to consume your content. And if I take it a step further and I say you're judging yourself on content that you haven't even created yet, let me say that one more time. You're judging yourself on content that you haven't even created yet. You're completely off your rocker because your content and your brand, no, it's not about you. Oh no. Your content is in the eye of the beholder. That's all that really matters. I read a quote a couple months ago from Andy Warhol and I loved it. It said something, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the entire quote, but it said, stop worrying about who's going to consume your art. Just keep creating. Don't worry about what the beholder's going to say about it. The beholder is going to do what they're going to do. Allow yourself to be celebrated by those that want to consume your content. Well, who are those people, Sebastian? I don't know. But this bird is having a great morning up here and he just decided to change trees. Well, where do you start, Sebastian? This is a lot. Start by doing what I'm doing right now. I'm holding my smartphone. My arm's getting a little tired. I've been talking for I don't know how many minutes now. I completely mangled my talk this morning where I had an iPad and Facebook Live set up and I thought I was mic'd up, ready to go. Look at me, daddy gizmo pants, and nothing recorded. So I sat in my car right here, show off the Camaro, because I used to walk everywhere. Love that car. I sat there and I said, I got a truth to share, just like I'm trying to teach right now. And the audio didn't work out. What does that have to do with the people that need to hear this message right now? What does that have to do with anything? It'd be easy to get fluffered with it and just throw my camera bag in my trunk and say, well, next time I'll do that. I'm sure glad that there was a room full of people there this morning that heard my message and were impacted by it. One individual, of which I had a meeting with after, was floored with the information that I had to share this morning, and I was humbled by that process, and he wants to hire me immediately. Not check my references, not go look at my work, my reputation precedes itself based on the work that I've performed and the people that I've worked with and what they have to say about it. That's the difference. That's the difference. It feels weird and like awkward when someone asks me for references. Who are you? What have you done? I don't gravitate. That's not my crowd. It's just not. There are plenty of people that I'm already associated with, that we're doing awesome things with, have done awesome things with, that I say phenomenal things about, and they do the same exact thing for me. There's plenty of those people. Those are my tribe. That's who I gravitate towards. We're digitally addicted people, and it's for a reason, because we can't stay away from our phones. Why? Because we are content consuming animals. It's what we do. We consume brand content, funny content, personal content, lifestyle content, whatever it may be. It's a plethora of content we're consuming. The question is your brand in the mix of that content? Are you running the race? Because I know this kind of sounds like a little cliche, but you cannot win the race unless you are in the race. I can assure you that. And while we're talking about races, this isn't a sprint. This isn't I posted a video on YouTube and nothing happened. What'd you do with the video once you posted it on YouTube? Oh, nothing. I thought YouTube did that work. No. You gotta tell some people about it. Maybe put your YouTube channel on your business cards. Maybe put it on your email signature. Maybe drop an email out to your email list and go, we're really excited over here at ABC Electric to be launching our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. You'll get future notifications on new episodes as they become available. How hard is that? You're just telling people about what you do. You're telling stories. I'm gonna take it one step further and I'm gonna wrap things up here. I think I got a majority of what I covered this morning, which the basis of the talk is fear of social media. That's really what it was. Fear and intimidation of social media. And that there's two sides of the room. Over here, delusional. Social media doesn't exist. I don't need it. Over here, practical. I need this. I don't know how and I don't know why, but I'm gonna figure it out. I just know that I do. Or I know that I need this, so I'm already doing it. I've already stuck my toe in the water, created some videos. I hired Sebastian because I didn't know where to go, where to start, but he did. And I put the blinders on and I believed in the marathon. I believe that I'm gonna make an investment every single month and I'm gonna create content and a strategy and I'm gonna tell my story month after month after month. Because I embrace the reality and the truth that social media is like little chess moves every single day. Little chess moves every single day. Because small chess moves eventually become what? Big chess moves. And that's what it's all about. It's about showing up every single day saying that I've got something to talk about pertaining to my brand. Tips, tricks, tools, ideas, the top 10 frequently asked questions about your business, the top 10 SAQs about your business, the should ask questions, the questions that should be asked, but they're not. Creating an elevator pitch on a video, taking your phone out and saying, my name is Sebastian Rusk. I'm the host and founder of SocialBuzzTV.com. We are an integrated marketing solution that helps businesses and brands tell their story with digital content like podcasts and videos. Rolls off my tongue because if anybody asks me what I do, I want to be able to tell them at any time. I could also record that on a video and I could post it to YouTube. And I can go type in what I do, social media strategist, Miami, Sebastian Rusk, post it on YouTube, and I don't know, maybe somebody will be searching for a social media strategist on YouTube and they'll see my elevator pitch. And they'll go, this guy seems like he knows what he's doing. I see the content, I see the comments, I see what people are saying. I think I can do this. Maybe I need to reach out to Sebastian. I'm not giving this, I didn't go live today to pitch you on joining my agency. I'm far too picky to just sit here and spend 15 minutes pitching you. I'm picky to the fact that certain clients have to fit demographics. There's an avatar of our ideal client. And if you're wondering what that is, it's somebody who gets it and understands this is where we're at. I'm practical, Sebastian. I don't understand it. I don't even see the staircase, let alone take the first step, but I understand it. They're practical. They also believe in what's happening with this social media stuff, and they believe in our work and they believe in me. Those are the differentiating factors on doing business with us here at SocialBuzzTV.com. If you don't have a strategy, you're confused, you're concerned, you don't understand what's what, there's an opportunity to figure it out. Go to YouTube and type in how to brand yourself as a patent attorney, how to brand yourself online as a dry cleaner, how to brand yourself online as a landscaper. All the information, a wealth of information available at our fingertips. You just got to be willing to make a commitment to go and do it. And if you're not going to make a commitment to go and do it, you just hire someone. It really is that simple. But I'm going to leave you with this, and it's an invitation. I invite you to consider the idea of becoming the go-to source for what you do as a brand because of your content. I do business with them because I like their videos. I refer them business because I like their blogs. I like that when they go live, it's so funny, it's so informative. I don't need them, but I know someone who does. And that's really what it's all about. Social media has always been around. These tools are just the newest thing happening, newest thing on the block over the past 16 years. So if not now, when? That's the question, because the time is right now. This stuff is not getting any easier. And eventually Facebook will be gone or saturated and everyone will be doing it and it'll be crazy expensive and you'll be sitting there with a big, bunch of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Tony Robbins says those people are shooting all over themselves. I couldn't agree more. Hey, thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to attempt to redo my talk. I hope that this encourages you and motivates you to create content for your brand. I mangled my audio recording of my talk this morning. Nailed the talk from what I get based on feedback. Did not nail the recording of it or going live with you so you guys could be part of that too. So I decided, you know what, we're gonna go do another version of that. I'm gonna force myself into it. And it was uncomfortable to do because I put everything into a talk and then I had another great meeting after the talk as a direct result of the talk. And then I get out and realize my audio didn't record. So it was a little anticlimactic to say the least. But I found that I'm the most energized, I'm the most fired up when I'm in my element. My element is sharing my truth. It's being on stage, it's talking to people, it's going live. It's helping people shift their mindset to realize the way that things have been will no longer be again. The ship has sailed. You're never, ever, 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 ever going to need a fax machine again or a beeper. You'll probably never use a payphone ever again either. This is called the evolution of technology. And once again, technology doesn't care about you, your feelings, your timeline, or how you feel about this whole digital landscape. The time is now, friend. Happy Thursday. I appreciate you guys.